For those that had a threesome experience, how was it? I lived in a sort of throuple situation back in late zeros. Lasted a couple of years, where my long-term partner and I lived in our apartment, and just a couple of blocks away our third had her place. We spent every weekend and probably half the weeknights at either of our places. It kind of became just a normal thing, all three of us, or the different versions of 23. It was all exciting and adventurous to begin with, but then just became our normal. Was fun while it lasted, and then just slowly fizzled out. Kind of showed us all that we all wanted something different, and while there was a breakup it wasn't bad, we all stayed friends. Threesomes are awesome if all three people actually want to have a threesome. I've had quite a few with my wife and various thirds. They've ranged from great to awful. In my experience, very clear and firm boundaries are your friend. Have a good idea of what you want and don't want to happen, particularly if there's anything that's going to really upset anyone. This kind of depends on your personality, but IMO do not do this with friends, or at least not with friends you see a lot of. That gets emotionally messy really fast, and if things go south they really go south. Our best have been with casual hookups or friends who live out of town. If you're in a couple, have sex just with each other as soon as you can after a three-way. You want it to feel like the group stuff is making your relationship stronger, not replacing it. There were a couple of no-shows, but I still had a great time. The girl that instigated it lay there like a starfish. Her girlfriend smelled like a trash can sitting in back of a sushi bar beside a cigarette butt recycling center. I couldn't even stay hard. I finally got up and walked out. 21st birthday. I was getting close with one girl, and while on the way to the bedroom her friend asked where we were going. I told her we're going to get busy and she's welcome to join, kinda joking. She agreed and her friend just laughed and said fuck it. It was amazing and I felt like a king. The other guy kept trying to touch my sack. It was really weird. My balls were pretty backed up, so I came really quick. Unfortunately, it was into the other girl, the one my girlfriend invited, which made her jealous and pissed off. Luckily, I was able to rally the troops and work in a second round, which was kind of awkward. 510 experience. I've had a few, both one-offs and longer-term stuff, had some fun. Maybe I'm just extra lazy. Maybe I've just got old and boring. But honestly, the extra coordination for three people's sex drive, moods, boundaries, and schedules not really worth all that work to me. Happily in a monogamous relationship now. Happy if my partner is the only person I sleep with for the rest of my life. Efficient. Instead of disappointing one woman at one time, I disappointed two women at one time. You know how it sounds so sexy to take a shower together, but then in reality one person is under the water while the other person is cold and waiting for a turn. It was like that. I've had it with 4 different pairs of partners. The best was when it was with 2 ladies I was seeing who were also seeing each other. It's just better when everyone is into everyone. Sex aside, 4 hands petting you while you're watching a movie is fantastic. I was the third for a married couple. Apparently it was the husband's birthday gift. The wife definitely didn't seem that into it, and the husband was a little too into it when we switched to me eating out his wife and him fucking me. 2 pumps. And the wife had no idea what to do down there, so I was just trying to put on a show for the hubby. I did with my ex-boyfriend and his best friend. It was one of the best experiences. Terrible. Ended a 2-year relationship. The other girl killed herself. It is not recommended. Very exciting at the time, very traumatic afterwards patching things with my girlfriend. I was too drunk, so it was a real marathon for me to perform. 710 overall. Was at my own house party and finally went to bed a little drunk with my girlfriend. I had another female friend was also a little tipsy and very precocious and had nowhere to crash. We said don't worry, you can share our bed. As soon as we got in, it just sort of happened. I can't remember the transition. It went from sitting in bed laughing about something to oh look, our clothes are off, and having sex. It was lovely, to be honest. It felt natural and it wasn't awkward. We went on to repeat it a few times over the next year or 2. We're all still friends to this day. It's funny looking back. I was 21 and we clearly had no sense of personal boundaries. It's a shame you grow out of the oh yeah sure you can share our bed vibes as you get older. I imagine planning one or seeking out a third would be a bit more awkward. My wife started without me, didn't tell me it was going on, and kinda moved in with him afterwards. It wasn't a great experience as. Definitely prefer to be the third. Doing it in a relationship was messy. I'm a lady. The first one, my participation was a gift to my friend's boyfriend for his birthday. I was way more attracted to her than him, so I spent a significant amount of time eating pussy and sucking titties. He fucked me while I went down on her, they fucked while I aided where I could. It was a success at the time. But it planted a seed in his head that he wanted more adventure in life, so their relationship kinda soured as a result. The second time, I was really into a coworker dude and wasn't aware he was already sleeping with my coworker friend. She suggested we invite him over when we were hanging out and she initiated us sucking his dick together. I went to ride his dick and it immediately got soft, which was mortifying. It got soft because he had feelings for her and I had no idea. The whole ordeal was humiliating. She thought she was throwing me a bone, but I would have never done all that if I knew they were FWB already. They are married now, have been for like a decade. Embarrassed me bad, haha. My current partner and I are both bi, so I'd be down to do a mmf with a queer dude or invite another gal to play. We're not Trina be unicorn hunters though, I'd cow to go about finding an enthusiastic, but strictly casual third.